Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Exercise is Bullshit. I'm your host, Logan Emmett Hurley, and I'm joined today by Tony Burns over across the pond in Glasgow, Scotland. And let's make sure we're turning our volume up here a little. Tony speaks English technically, but it's Scottish English. So I'll be focusing right along with you guys. Tony, please introduce yourself, say hello, and then maybe we can give everyone, after you kind of give your introduction, I'll kind of give everyone a background of how we met as well.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction, Logan, and thank you for having me on as well. I'll try and speak slow for the viewers. My name's Tony Burns. I'm the co-founder of Burns Gym. So that is Burns. It's always a struggle when we're trying to sell that. Burns Gym. So yeah, we deliver an online exercise program to adults in, we would say, care homes in the UK, nursing homes in the US, assisted living facilities as well. We've been doing this for the last 7 years, and now we work with a good few hundred care homes now doing what we do.
Yeah. So when I was overseas, I went to Scotland last year with my family, and I kind of messaged Joe and Tony ahead of time. I thought maybe you guys had like a regular gym because you did take some people in person, and we kind of struck up a conversation and ended up swinging by the facility on my way out, and was just kind of blown away by one, just the size of your operation, right? It's just you and your brother, and you
Yeah.
guys are delivering, I mean, massive amounts of workouts all over to care homes all across the UK, and now you're expanding to the US. And if anybody listening has never been to Scotland, go to Scotland. Scottish people are the best. You guys took me right in. You gave me a kilt. You gave me my own
Exactly,
kilt.
Logan. I was going to say you.
Yep. So, I felt part of the family right away. Now, talk to me about how you and Joe kind of got into this specific niche, right? So you work specifically with care homes and older individuals. And how did you kind of find your way into that avenue? Like, what did that process look like for you guys?
Yes, I'll go back to probably a bit of background about myself actually, Logan. So I
Yeah,
started
please.
off as a personal trainer. So I did my personal training qualification. I did a couple of years at college. Now, I could have went on to do my full degree, but I decided to. I was actually, I'm quite practical. I want to go and put the experience, get right into work, basically. So I asked my lecturer, how do you do that? You're better maybe going for your qualification if you want to be specifically a personal trainer. So I ended up doing that. It was Australian Institute of Fitness in Spain. So a really wide combination.
You said the Australian Institute of Fitness in Spain?
Yeah. So that sounded good to me, actually.
Yeah.
I was 19. I'm like, I might do that. So yeah, decided to go and do that. It's always been my passion, exercising as well, working out. I really enjoyed since I was 15, 16. So yeah, that's the route I took. I ended up going into a professional soccer club, as you call it, football club to work, and did 10 months there. But my real passion was in exercise. So then I got my job in my first gym. So I did that for 3 years. Then I actually joined the police force. For 8 years, I was a police officer for Strathclyde Police, which they were, and then it turned into Police Scotland. And after that, I kind of came back into exercise with Joe. So Joe was a project manager in Aberdeen and also a gas engineer as well in his previous life. So we came together. We've got a shared passion for exercise. We're brothers as well, so we're really best friends. We've got another brother as well. We're all very, very close. All best friends. So yeah, that's why we decided to come in. We wanted to bring our passion. Now, we didn't know at that point it was going to be adults in care homes. We started off as a private personal training studio in Glasgow with nobody. We just decided to set up and go for it. I left the police, he left oil and gas, and fast forward, was it maybe a couple of years, we took some clientele, some one-to-one PT, some group PT as well, really enjoying it. And then it was like a family connection, actually. My mum had suggested that as well. Why don't you go and, the older adults need it as well in care homes. So we were like, we can try that out. Through a family connection, we ended up getting into our first care home. Now, the workouts, I remember when I qualified as a personal trainer, I don't know if you were the same, Logan. When someone had chronic conditions, we did our exam in Spain. So they had English speaking people coming over. So I'm like that. Oh, please don't have anything, because it's I wouldn't know what to do. I'm not even out there yet.
Yeah.
But it's really challenging in the fact that you do get to see a lot more things. Now, we usually send an overview onto care homes where they kind of sign the residents off, etc. But I think it's more of a challenge now as well, where I do want to do that kind of thing for people that need it as well, in care homes who are kind of, some are at the end of their life. Yeah, that's how it kind of all started. Family connection. We decided, my mum had suggested as well, why don't you go and help the elderly? So we decided that might be a good idea. We went in and delivered our first session. Look, you don't know how it's going to go. Older adults tell you the truth. If you're rubbish, you're rubbish. Now, we went in and did 4 sets of 10. Like, I think it was like a shoulder press on the arm.
Okay.
Chest press, knee raises.
Yeah.
And they seemed to thoroughly enjoy it. So that was in the care home. So yeah, we just decided to there might be something in us. We didn't charge at the time. It was all for free. So that group had like another 4 care homes. So we decided we would spread our time between clients in the gym and also get out to care homes.
So you were doing it in person, obviously.
Yeah.
At first, yep.
Yeah, and we used to take so we started off total body weight, and then we used to take some equipment in as well. And that was like a group setting. And then again, of course, COVID happened and we had to change that model. So when COVID happened, we did have a good few care homes then under our belt, but it was going in. So you would travel from Glasgow to maybe 20 minutes, half an hour away. 20 minutes, half an hour away in Scotland's a long way. But I know for you guys, like 5 hours is nothing.
Yeah.
It was nothing. 20 minutes, it was nothing. So yeah. So that's kind of how we built that side of it, Logan. That's how we kind of started getting into care homes.
Yeah, that's so great. And honestly, COVID was probably the best thing that ever happened to you guys, right? I mean, you can feel free to correct me, but just from a ability to expand your reach and not have to actually go anywhere. So, I think I think it's just cool. You obviously owe your mom a lot if she's the one that kind of set you guys up with that idea.
She keeps telling us.
Yeah, you gotta keep taking care of her. Every time you get an award, Tony and Joe get tons of awards and accomplishments and stuff in the community in the UK. And I can just imagine your mom just being like, "Remember who told you to do that?" every single time. Yeah. So, I apologize for my terrible Scottish accent. But
you did a good job.
Anyway,
good job.
Yeah, thank you. But no, it's obviously very different than what a lot of personal trainers think of when they think about getting into personal training in the beginning. And I'd love to kind of talk as we go further through this. What is that like? What are the workouts actually like? And we don't have to get into that right at this moment. But just thinking of how to work with older individuals virtually. And I work with a lot of, like, my oldest client right now is 77. I actually have 2 77-year-olds. But they're pretty functional. They're nowhere near a care home. But there are some 75, 77-year-olds that are in care homes. And I'm sure your ages go up to 90, 95, maybe even 100 years old of people participating. So I think it would be really interesting to just have that discussion. The first question I wanted to ask you, though, is, I really try to take a scientific approach to exercise with everything on this podcast. And part of having a scientific kind of approach is really sort of questioning some of your beliefs along the way, right? It's as new evidence mounts to maybe go against something you previously believed, shifting your belief system appropriately. Is there something you can think of over the course of the last maybe 3, 5, 7 years that you personally, or you and Joe together, have maybe made kind of a big shift based on mounting evidence?
I suppose, like, for myself, actually, just as a personal trainer, Joe as well, like, you look at the rep range, for example. So the rep range was always that 6 to 12 reps for, like, building muscle. Now we see it's expanded to that, just say 5 to 30 repetitions. You can get the kind of same gains. Now, you can also say that if you go above, like, 12 reps, there has been evidence to say that the accuracy is there. You recognise that you're getting to failure at that stage, whereas if you're going above 12, accuracy starts to drop. People start to stop a bit earlier, and you might not get that. And I know there's reps in reserve, etc. But if you're looking to get to failure, that 12 can still be okay. Now, I go in the gym as well. Sometimes I'll do 10, I'll do 12 reps.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've not got all day to spend in the gym either. So if I'm going to be doing 30 reps, and I'm going to be doing, and I know it's total volume, but maybe that's one thing I would say. Now, I'm always on the lookout. I'm always kind of learning new things as well, stuff that probably I didn't know. I suppose, like we're working with older adults, you're looking into things like frailty, sarcopenia, stuff like that. You're paying a bit more attention. Whereas maybe when I just operated as a personal trainer, one-to-one, you're focused on the workouts like let's get the chest work, let's get the shoulders work, let's get you to near failure, they kind of things. But now I've took more of an approach to, I'm learning a lot more now, I would say, and starting for the bottom, as in you're dealing with people that maybe can't get up out the chair. And I've took a whole new approach. So is Joe. Joe and I have took a whole new approach to this learning. Where I've maybe changed my mind, I would always like say, 6 to 12 reps is really good for the type of muscle fibres you've got, the type 2X that we say now, fibres. So maybe the rep range, the 5 to 30, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, I love that too. I actually just had a guy on the other day and we were discussing the adjustment kind of to the repetition continuum, which is what Tony's talking about there. This idea when we were both in school, kind of going through originally, you learn like for strength, you're doing this lower rep range with higher weights, and then hypertrophy or muscle building, you're in this certain rep range. And then for endurance adaptations, you're going to a higher rep range. And it seems like really, there are specifics at either far end of the spectrum, meaning like if you're working for strength, you really want to be in the lower rep ranges with higher weights, right? Because strength is a skill. If you're getting into the 40, 50, 60 reps on something, you're probably getting more of an endurance.
Yeah, you've got a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah, and a lot of time on your hands for sure. But like Tony said, anywhere from about 5 to 30, maybe even 40 reps. But again, I would say that anybody that's doing 40 reps is probably not actually getting close to failure because the discomfort is going to be so high at this point. But yeah, there's a huge opportunity to get very good results within a much wider kind of spectrum than we originally thought. So that's a great one. Now, as we kind of apply this, because you teased at this a little bit with older adults, obviously you kind of have to throw everything you know about personal training out the window, right? Like I remember when I worked with my first person that couldn't get out of a wheelchair, like it really made me think on my feet of like, oh shit, I can't, like, they're not going to do all the stuff that I was doing with other people. How do I start? Yeah. It's like, come on, get on the leg press. It's like, my legs don't move. Oh shit. Okay. What are we going to do here? So talk to me a little bit about maybe that transition of getting into the care homes and how you guys, like, how do you approach this now with people? Maybe talk to us a little bit about like, how does Burns operate from a group exercise perspective, and maybe kind of what some of these routines look like? Because it's live virtual training, right? So you guys are coming in.
No, Logan, so it's a virtual model. So basically it's online. So when a nursing home signs up, they get access to like their live online session per week.
Yeah.
And they would also get access to an online platform which is pre-recorded video.
Oh, okay, got it. So it's both. So they can watch you guys going live, or they can watch taped ones.
Yes, and maybe the last time we spoke, that maybe wasn't out yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
That's just new.
Okay.
So they get access to that. Now what that looks like is, so that live online session, this is a bit different. The model's a bit different. We can service so many care homes at the same time. We can have like between 30 and 50 nursing homes on the one screen. I'll keep going between care homes, nursing home, assisted living facilities. Still the kind of same term. I know they kind of mean different things within the care sector, but for this podcast, if I say that, that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know that I have a ton of care home facilitator listeners, so I don't think any of my audience is going to get super upset if we're using slightly wrong verbiage here. I think most of our people know what we're talking about. Where they put old people. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what that looks like, Logan, is they all log in at the same time. So we can have care homes from Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and the US working out at the same time with Joe and I in our kilts. So a kilt is like
it's the big selling point
dress.
Yeah.
So we wear that in like all the live sessions, and that ties into the adherence. So there's like a global, basically, pandemic with people not exercising, if you want to say. And for us, it's important first of all to get someone in the seat to actually be able to move, because and that makes it fun as well. It's important we make it fun as well. So the kilts are it's to bring people along and hopefully they enjoy. Now that consists of like a warm-up, so some like dynamic movement. Then you've got like a main activity. So there's like 3 sets in that main activity. We stop within that. So we do 2 sets. We stop and have like an interactive break. So at the start of every live online, we'll ask the care home staff to like put the care home resident names, participants into the chat box in Zoom.
Okay.
And we'll call everyone out at halftime. So Joe and I literally come up to the screen and we'll read the names of the care homes and the names. If it's anyone's birthday, by the way, we sing happy birthday as well.
I love that.
I probably practice my singing. I'm not standard yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that interactive break finishes, and then we go back for like set number 3, and then we finish off with a cool down, some static stretching. Now it's all from the arm.
So is that 3 sets of each exercise you're doing, or are you doing one like kind of main?
There's like 9 between 7 and 9.
Oh, got it.
Call that set. That's like
got it. So it's kind of like you're like a giant set. You're grouping a bunch of different exercises together.
In that set. Yep.
Got it. Okay, great.
Yep. So that lasts like half an hour. It's all from the armchair, that. And we've kind of introduced like some equipment as well. So water bottles. I'll say water bottles, not water bottles. Water bottles. So just it's not mandatory, but it's given the people on the other side, the care homes, the option to bring that in, to maybe increase, to maybe put some more stimulus on. It would be the upper half. You can place it in the lower half and put it in your thigh or whatever. So that's how the online live works. Now they get access to an online platform as well, where they can access specialised programs. So like strength specific, balance specific, bed specific, cognitive, and there's a mobility program in there as well. They can add residents to the platform. They can log their progress. They can assess the residents on there as well if they choose to. So we are placing a lot of emphasis on the staff on the other side, but we try and put out as much information. We're always available as well.
So that's a big change, I think, from the last time you spoke as well. You've got this app. That's awesome, man. That sounds really cool. So people can have access to specific programs, because that was going to be one of my questions. Is I can't imagine, and maybe you are only targeting nursing homes where people are very limited in mobility, but I would imagine that there's different levels of what people's kind of ability is, right, from place to place. So having something that's more strength focused, because these, again, when you're using a broad audience like this, I imagine they're fairly basic exercises, right? And it's just kind of like the lowest common denominator for most people.
Yeah, I suppose what separates all the exercises is like your fit VP. So that frequency, intensity, time, etc., the progression. So in each program, it's broken down into like sets, repetitions, when to breathe in, when to breathe out, etc. If you want to add a power element, then we're telling people, like, for example, a sit to stand, you would increase the speed when you stand up, slow the speed down, stuff like that. But it's all, so the videos are all voiceover as well. And there's over like 100 videos, but they're all split into the 6 programs, as we say. Voiceovers, as much information as possible, but not death by PowerPoint either, which is getting that right balance. So yeah, again, it is, and then it splits into like, so your strength, and it's giving people, like you say, mixed abilities. It's giving people that range. You don't have to do 3 sets of 10. You don't have to do like 4 sets of 12. Even start with 1 set. Even start with, because the great thing about the program is as well, the activity coordinator, who usually coordinates the session, they can use that one day and say, we're going to bring like 6 residents along and do like the strength program.
And do a smaller group with just those people.
It can be individualized, but it can also be used for a group as well.
Yeah, that's great. So you're basically they're kind of outsourcing any nursing homes that would have like a personal trainer come in on site. Now they can just subscribe to your service and have that all the time. That's awesome, man. That's really, really cool. I think most of that is new compared to when we talked last, but brilliant the way you guys have set that up. So when someone comes to you and they sign up for this service, is it every day you're doing something and you're rotating the facilities, or is it once a week you guys have that group session together and it's just everybody has to sign on? And then I'm kind of joking about this, but also kind of serious. Like, old people will have a hard time hearing anyways. Have you thought about like bringing in an American? Well, an American for your American side of the business.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, because it's like, my dad is not in a nursing home, but he's 78 and he has his hearing aids in, right? He can barely hear me. When we went to Scotland, I met up with a friend of mine that I met in Australia like 10 years prior. There was a chef from Scotland, from Glasgow, and we hung out, had dinner. My dad he loved him, but he had no idea what the fuck he was saying the entire night. So it's like, I can't imagine, you guys are being projected and I'm sure the Scottish people understand what you guys are saying, but has that been an issue at all? Or maybe not?
Listen, it's a great point. Listen, I think, we need to speak really, really slow. We need to, and again, I suppose coaching as well. It's difficult to speak about coaching because it's just something that you do. You'll know this yourself, Logan. It's tough to explain what you do. But when you're in that coaching session, in a group session, you try to slow everything down. You try to make each exercise meaningful. So like even for example, like a knee raise. Okay, we'll take a knee raise. It's telling somebody to lift their leg high, but they might have pain. So it's the way you cascade the message, I suppose. Being slow. For the Americans, again, we need to slow it down a tone as well. But there is feedback to suggest that we could maybe slow it down sometimes and that they do have a trouble understanding us. There is that feedback. So I'm not going to try and speak in an American accent because that would be even worse probably. But yeah, I suppose like you do get that kind of feedback. It is what it is, and we do try our best to slow things down when we're speaking, and we try and emphasise each exercise as much as we can.
Yeah, and of course they can watch the demonstrations that you guys are doing as well and see stuff that way. When people are coming on, again, my other question was just like, what does the schedule look like? Like, are you doing all your facilities one time a week? Are you rotating through multiple days per week for these live sessions for the streaming?
Yeah, so we've got a timetable at the moment. So if each class is half an hour, we can easily. So when someone signs up, we'll send them a list of the classes, and it's like pick one. That's your weekly live session. So again, they're helping us as much as we're helping them. It helps us with our admin, I would say, but it's that continuity for the care home to keep coming back to that session every week. They see the other care homes that they see each week. So selecting one session per week. Now, if they really want to do two, there is some that do 2 sessions per week. They can do that as well. So it's pick a session, and that's your weekly live. If you want to change it, reach out and we'll happily.
So do you guys go live 5 days a week then, or is it 3 days a week?
4 days
or how does that work?
4
days.
Yeah. So Tuesday to Friday. So not Monday. No Monday at the moment.
Okay, great. So you guys have a long weekend. That's nice. But I'm sure you're busy doing stuff.
Yeah, there's a thing called admin as well, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and you guys have been traveling all over the place as well, and obviously trying to expand the business. So I think this is such a unique offering because so many people obviously want to target the online space. They want to get as many people as possible. I've seen trainers that do like they'll have an app, right, and they offer group live classes and things like that. But I think there's not a lot of people, at least that I've seen, that are targeting this community specifically. And this is the community that probably needs it the most, right? There was a new, I don't know if you follow this because it's the American College of Sports Medicine, but did you see that they put out their new position stand?
What was that? What was it saying, sorry?
So the American College of Sports Medicine just put out their first new position stand in like 17 years. So,
I did. Sorry. Yeah, the new guidelines.
Yeah, the new guidelines, exactly. Yep. So probably the biggest takeaway from the guidelines, and I had actually one of the authors on the show. It'll be coming out, and actually the lead author. It'll be coming out in a few weeks. It'll be before this episode. But anyways, the point that we kind of came away with for the main focus of the paper was basically you got to do something, right? Like doing something is better than nothing. And the most benefit you will ever see is going from nothing to something.
100%. Yeah.
So I think what you guys are doing with, often unfortunately forgotten kind of group of people, like these older individuals, giving them some community. Like in my mind, there's so many benefits to what you guys are doing and the work that you're doing beyond just they're feeling a little better physically, even though that's great, right? As they get older, it's like, my mom was in a care home before she died. It's a terrible place a lot of times. Like it's not the most fun place to be. And a lot of those people, I'm sure, struggle with like they don't see their family as much, they don't see their friends. So to have that community aspect, get the entire facility together in a room once a week, they all get to interact and laugh and joke around. And I just think it's just really cool what you guys are doing. Like I think you're doing really good work just beyond like let's make people a little bit stronger.
Thank you for that, Logan. And let me just say, actually, you're right. Physical, you do get a lot of benefits physiologically from exercise, physical activity as well, but the mental and social aspect, for us, it's really important. And that bringing everyone together at the same time, that social aspect. We had a programme evaluated with the University of Strathclyde, which is a university in Glasgow. And one of the things that came out of that was it was like a social hub, the session. And hearing things like that as well, it does make you want to do more for people. And again, it's about how much for us, how much of a difference we can make to people's lives, physically, mentally, and socially.
Yeah. So can you talk to me just a little bit? I'm sure the sessions vary from week to week a little bit, but what does a typical session look like? You mentioned that it's 3 sets, right? So you do the first 2 of these big kind of group sets. What kind of things are these people doing in their seats with the water bottles?
Yep. So I think really important for us looking at, when I say we look at the foundations again, looking at the physical fitness components, I think these are really, really important. They're the foundation for everybody's physical fitness, I would say. So your strength, balance, reaction time, speed, power, these kind of things, they're all implemented within each exercise. So, for example, we'll have like a start-stop exercise, reaction time, give them a movement, tell them to go, tell them to stop. And you see it's incredible, by the way. If you've got like 30 care homes in the one screen, you're seeing everyone just, it's crazy. And then they start moving. So look, it's getting people to respond to you and getting people to listen and zone in and trying to get the people's attention. Because we understand, look, we're doing this over a screen. It's not in person. Again, I was talking about earlier on, the coaching experience. It's hard to say you just do what you do. But we need, for us, it's getting people moving in that session. And again, using exercises like strength. Even we've seen before as well, no load exercises can improve muscle strength and size. Now, I would say it depends on the person. It depends what they do. If that person's never had that stimulus before, then there's a good chance that they might gain something. And when you're talking about people sitting in a chair, starting from somewhere is better than nothing, like you say. So yeah, like strength exercise, we use the water ball. So there's like bicep curls, there's shoulder presses, there's chest presses. And I know the load here for the chest press is quite tough because the load's pushing down on you. But
yeah, what are you using for a chest press? Are they putting a band behind them, or how does that?
There is nothing like that. So it's like, so we can do like the upward chest press, so like that. So like stimulating, like, so you're capable.
Oh, got it. So they're taking the water bottles and they're doing this kind of thing. Got it. Okay.
Again, it allows us to use our mind as well a bit more and get more exercise, because you're thinking like, how can we make the most impact from a chair, from the live session? So even like bilateral asymmetrical exercises, which is doing 2 different things with each side of the body. So it kind of tricks the brain. So the brain wants to do the same thing. So for example, if you're doing this, slide one hand up and down your leg and clap your hand off the other leg. It's pretty tough. It sounds easy. I know you're desperate to do it now.
I'm doing it right now. I got it.
Yeah. So like they kind of exercises, they stimulate the brain. People are zoning in. They're thinking in that time. But they've been shown to be really good for the brain as well. So things like that, there's a variety. We use equipment. We use tennis rackets now as well. So like like forehands, we're not tennis experts. Backhands, we'll introduce like breaststroke, like front crawl. But there's a range of things you can do. Power, you can like speed it up and slow it down, your shoulder press and stuff like that, bicep curls.
So are you guys, is it, you're kind of writing a program each week and then delivering that to the facility Tuesday through Friday? Like is each facility getting sort of the same program since they're obviously not crisscrossing over, and you're changing it slightly each week? Or does it?
We alternate the exercises. Listen, there'll be some of the same exercises in like maybe the next week, but we alternate them. We usually give it a change as well. And sometimes it's like letting them do their exercise as well. So select an exercise and you pick it. So even like looking at adherence again, it's a massive issue. And for us to get people into the seat, even using stuff like, I don't know if you've ever heard of the self-determination theory. I think I spoke to that. It's like autonomy, competence, and relatedness. So if you can get someone to copy they kind of things, like so autonomy, giving people the autonomy like to do their own exercise, competence, they come back each week, they do the same exercises, and then relatedness, you're bringing that community together. So that's like taking someone from amotivation, so not motivated, to motivation. So if you can meet the three needs, there's a good chance that you might be able to get the person to do what you want them to do, and that's exercise.
I love that. Yeah. Again, so much deeper than just workouts and adherence, right? Because again, there's so many more aspects, especially when you're sedentary, like a lot of these people are, that become important, and things that maybe I wouldn't even emphasize with my clients because we're specifically focused on strength training when we come in.
Yep.
They're there for a very specific purpose. The sessions are 30 minutes. This is what we're focusing on. But I think the fact that you guys can incorporate so many other aspects that maybe you wouldn't necessarily do, right? Like if you had an 85-year-old in the gym, you're probably not going to do really crazy power training with them, right? Like picking up a barbell and moving as fast as you can. But when the power training is swing a racket as fast as you can, like that's a lot safer. You're still applying the same principles, but you're bringing the safety aspect way higher.
And again, we always deliver safety technique tips before our session, like stuff like if you don't think you can do an exercise, please leave it out. Keep breathing in and out is really important. But these basics, and if you keep cascading that message throughout the session, they're more inclined to do it. So like breathe in, breathe out, keep like stuff like that, really basic stuff at that level, but really important as well if they don't. And again, the water bottles and things like that aren't mandatory. You're bringing like it's a 500ml bottle if they do. Some residents actually bring them along and use them. And again, then it all feeds back into your feedback portal as well. So we've got like over 2,500 feedback forums now. It's like 2,800, just say. But that engine, so the physical, mental, and social aspect, we send like a survey every session, and we get feedback. So, for example, I just put like a video out recently. Joe and I had seen that a care home was experiencing 19 falls in a month. Was it last year? And now it's down to 2 to 3 falls a month. Now, we're not saying...
Did you say 2 to 3?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, massive difference. So from 19 to 2 to 3.
Yep.
Crazy.
So now that's great for us because it's like they're taking part in our program. Now, what I'm not saying is like we'll prevent falls in your home. I'm taking the care home's work. They take partner sessions, and that's that association with our program. And for us, that's amazing for us because it's like that's what we want. That's why we do this. That's why we do what we do. We want to make a huge difference. So hearing that kind of feedback is extremely powerful.
That's really awesome. And again, just gives you great ability to continue to market your product in the future of what you actually have to offer, right? Because as an outsider, especially if you're functional and you probably look in on some of these classes, you'd think, what are they even doing? Like, how is that even helping anything? And that's not to downplay what you're doing, because I totally get the bet. But like, if you're a functional 25-year-old and you're watching one of these Burns gym classes, you're probably like, what is this, right? But to see those actual numbers and show the difference that you guys can make, and I think it's so cool that you partnered with universities. And I think I set you up at one point with an elderly researcher too. I'd love to see more research come out of your team in the future as well, because I think you're doing such cool real world experience, right? Like there's really nobody else doing this, and you're kind of leading the way in that, which is awesome. Talk to me a little bit about just the payment structure, and you don't have to get into specifics, but I'm just kind of curious of like, are these care homes paying a monthly fee? Are they signing up for like a yearly service? Just like, how do you kind of have that structured?
So listen, everyone's different. Majority of it is monthly subscriptions. So paid monthly with the care home. They keep coming back, they can cancel at any time. Now, people can pay yearly as well. Sometimes we get contracts. It all depends, Logan. Like, there could be government contracts, there could be private nursing homes as well. So there's all different sorts payment methods, but usually it's a monthly subscription.
Yeah, that's really cool too, though, that you guys have been able to expand this. Because one of the conversations we had when we first met, I was like, man, this would be so cool when you guys come to the States. Like, I'd love to figure out a way to partner with you and work with. But it's like you've managed to keep your overhead so low because you're doing these group fitness classes. So it's like realistically, you could expand to 100 nursing homes in each of these in each of these classes, and it's still just you and Joe, or you and Joe.
And listen, that is the mission. We want to target as much people as possible, of course, but make a huge difference to people's lives. Just want to touch on what you said as well there about like the 25-year-old. We get it, and now you're looking at people like maybe 80, 90, 100 as well. We've had our sessions, so these people get. I'm not speaking on behalf of the population, but there's some people out there with really no mobility whatsoever. They can't even move their leg. So if you think about it, if you're coming back every week, we need to make the sessions fun as well. That's important. And I think it's their personalities as well. We really enjoy working out with elderly people, older adults. They need to be fun for people to come back. Now, I'm not saying that people don't do stuff that they don't enjoy and keep them back, because there are people like that. But there's a lot of people, and I think that's maybe the problem with adherence as well. There's a lot of people out there that want to enjoy something, and when they do enjoy it, when they find something that they will enjoy, they'll keep coming back. And when you keep coming back with exercise, what happens? You make a difference. So going back to that as well, you get people with like limited mobility, ability. So if you're like, when I was speaking about that knee raise earlier on, I use that as an example. You can get somebody that can lift their knee, like, hardly anything off the floor. If you keep coming back, you're going to lift it. That's the basic level. And it's not basic for that person because that person's at what stage they're at. But that's going to be change over time. Then again, we have that online platform where they can use where they can get up out their chair. There's like sit to stands and stuff like that. There's like walking exercises. So there's that platform to take you from your bed all the way up to standing and moving about. That's our goal. That's what we want to achieve. Now, it's not going to be possible for everybody because everybody's at different stages in their life. But that's the way we would like to impact people's lives. And if that's just like lifting their leg up a bit off the ground and they were happy with that, then so be it. But
yeah, that's really cool that you've been able to make that kind of adjustment in the programming too, with the videos and everything else that you've obviously, I'm sure, spent a lot of time putting these videos together that people can watch on their own and continue to progress on their own if they want to. And then again, I just think it's brilliant because you guys aren't actually investing the additional time, like time up front, but now you don't have to continue to invest in, one-on-one sessions, which is what a lot of companies do. So what does the future look like? I know you guys have been super busy kind of running around. You're trying to expand to the US. What is kind of your hope in, say, the next 3 to 5 years? And then maybe like your longer term vision in, say, the next 10 years? What do you hope Burns Gym turns into?
Listen, I suppose a global leader in healthy aging, I suppose. Nursing homes, care homes, assisted living facilities. Yeah, so like expand our business in the UK, of course, and also the US as well at the moment. Now, there's a lot of care homes in each country. Again, it's just targeting as many people as we can. And like you say, we've got that platform now. That'll always be updated, and kind of evidence coming out and stuff like that. But I also think as well, like chronic conditions, older adults, maybe providing more information on that as well would be something to look towards in the future. But expanding our business as much as we can and targeting as much people as we can and making as much.
Do you have kind of a vision of what that looks like? Like, do you and Joe have a number in mind of like, we want to help 1,000 care homes like weekly, or is it more just we want to expand the business to X amount of subscriptions, or like what does that kind of vision look like?
I suppose it's like it's targeting a specific number of care homes. I mean, to say like a specific number, there's like roughly, I think, 17,000 in the UK.
There's 17,000 in the UK? God, so there must be a bajillion in the US.
Yeah, I think it might be I think it might be similar. I don't know, like nursing homes maybe similar. I don't know if that takes into account assisted living facilities, but you're probably, there's a lot. So when you've got the market there of that amount, I suppose for us it's getting as much as we can. Like even to get into that 500, then that 1,000, the sky's the limit. And again, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm expecting a customized Burns Gym kilt once you get to 1,000 gyms. So I know you guys have been
Have you
upping
been
your
using
kilt
your
game.
kilt just now?
I just was looking for it actually. I thought about pulling it out, but I think I put it in storage. I moved to a
Right,
new place not too long, but I have it. I do have it. Yep.
right.
But I saw you guys got kitted out. I can't remember what
Yeah.
the event was for because you've been doing so many things that I see you posting about. But I think it was some kind of knight's dinner or something in the UK that you had. You went to some fancy kilt maker and
So
got
McGregor
all.
Macduff, they killed us out.
Yeah.
So we partnered with them. They've been absolutely excellent. They've been fantastic. And we managed to take their kilts to the US as well.
Nice.
We ended up in a modelling stage by a catwalk,
I saw that.
wearing these
Yeah.
kilts. That was great as well. It was nice to do. Listen, it's something different, and it kind of all tied in their trip as well. So yeah, that was different for us, but we enjoyed it. So they've been excellent, McGregor Macduff as well, and that really for us, like wearing the kilts as well. It's like that USP as well, where there's two brothers in kilts, and we want to
Yeah.
keep that up as well. It's quite cool. It's bringing a bit of Scottish culture, not only to the UK but also to the US market as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so haggis and kilts coming to a nursing home near you in the States. Yeah.
yeah, you can steal our next idea. We'll bring haggis.
Yeah, there you go.
Haggis
Get a
over the
haggis
screen.
sponsorship. Yeah. So just tell me as we kind of wrap up here, Tony, what do you some of the residents say? Like what has been some of the coolest feedback that you've gotten either from participants or from staff? Now I think that fall number is really cool, like going from 19 to 2 to 3 a month.
Yep.
But just on the impact, I'm sure you have a ton of feedback from residents and from staff members that are working at these places. What's some of the coolest stuff you've heard over the last few years?
So there's been many actually. So there was one a stroke victim who couldn't move one side, and he started moving that side eventually. Again, it's that it all comes back to that person coming along all the time, and you being able to engage with them across the screen. Now that person does the movements themselves; they make the difference themselves. It's not us; we're just the two guys in kilts across the screen. But if you can inject your energy and your enthusiasm, hopefully you can make that difference. But I'll keep answering. The 19 falls was really nice as well. I would also say the other day as well, like there was a female who had a hip replacement, and she's standing up better from the chair, which again really important. The sit to stand test when you look at it it's a test used widely in that ageing population, so that's really good. Even you get things like they like to see the boys in their kilts. They enjoy the music. They enjoy the call outs at half time, the shout outs, stuff like that as well. So strengths improved. Now that's observations coming from the care home. So they'll probably look at the residents day to day and they'll maybe observe and say stuff like that, core strength. But yeah, just I mean that you're building a community, and it's nice to hear like the comments that they're enjoying coming to the sessions each week. They can't wait for the next one. That kind of thing all ties into adherence again. So
Is have you guys thought about? I know you mentioned that one university, but have you thought about doing maybe a wider scale study on sort of the impact that your training has had? Because I could see this being just a great observational study, like collecting, working with a researcher who could put together some kind of survey question for all the participants. Where did they start?
yeah,
Subjective levels of improvement, strength, functionality, energy, all of those things, and then just collecting like a large sample size of that. I think that would just be so powerful, not only as like a marketing tool for your business, but also just to see like, again, I think a lot of people get confused and stray away from exercise, especially as they get older, because they think it has to be so complicated because of Instagram and because of social media influencers and stuff. But as we've kind of talked about today, like you guys are doing sort of the basic of the basic. And again, that's not to take away from what you're doing. I think it's amazing, but it's like you can get so much benefit from doing really simple things. And I think that message is so powerful to spread. So have you thought about doing that, like teaming up with any researchers or universities?
So the University of Strathclyde, we like discussions with them when we went up to get our program evaluated. Now we didn't know what that would look like, but that was a psychology department, but they suggested that they do it. So they kind of sent surveys out to the the staff who deliver. Now, it can be quite challenging with residents as well, ethically, also cognitively as well. So getting residents involved. So look, we'll never stop, Logan. We're actually in the process of getting a programme evaluated with another university. It's called the University of the West of Scotland. They're actually collating the feedback that we've collected through our time in Burners Gym, and they're going to be evaluating that, which will be coming out actually in the next month or two. So yeah, we're always on the lookout for opportunities, and again, we would love more opportunities to collaborate with universities. It would be amazing. Look, again, I always say the sky's the limit for Joe and I. We want to keep pushing this. We want to keep making a difference. And getting back to the point again, it's like everybody starts somewhere, and I think if you can take someone from nothing to something, it's a big change for that person. But yeah, we're always on the lookout for collaborations.
I love that. Yeah, no, I think again, just such a cool, there's in exercise science research, there's two populations that are typically underserved. One is just women in general, and then the other one is just older individuals. Most exercise science research is on 18 to 25-year-olds that happen to be university students, right? Because that's the easiest way to get participants.
Yeah.
So to have these real world opportunities to study the impact of exercise on large scale populations, which you guys are obviously doing, you're working with all these different care homes. Maybe each care home only has 20 people, but you multiply that by you're working with 100 places, like that's a lot of individuals. Yeah. So I think that's awesome. Anything else that you got that's going on that's worth mentioning? Any big exciting projects or expansions to the US that people should know about, or in the UK?
So yeah, I would just say actually follow us on. So if you have socials, you don't need to follow us, but you can look out for us. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, X, all the social media channels. Now, again, for us, we'll probably be looking to go to the US again. We're just back from Miami and New York. We were in Boston in September. So yeah, we'll probably look to go out again pretty soon. Other than that, we just keep doing our day-to-day.
Do you have a lot of care homes in the States that have signed up yet, or is it just more creating the relationships at this point?
No, we've got people coming from the States, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Good team of care homes coming from the States, yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, again, like I say, we'll just keep trying to expand the UK and US operations, working with as many care homes, nursing homes as possible, and try to make a difference in people's lives.
I love that. So just to kind of recap everything, obviously you guys based out of Scotland, working with care homes, nursing homes, doing live sessions, and then also having, it sounds like a pretty gigantic inventory of different videos that care homes can use individually with clients or in smaller groups if they want to. So it's been really cool for me to kind of see the evolution of your business, even since I met you guys for the first time last summer. It's been, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be like exactly a year, right? I was there last July. So just really, I know, it's wild. Yeah, time does fly. I can't believe it's freaking June already, basically, when we're recording this right now, end of May. So this year's almost halfway over. It's wild. If people are interested in learning more about your program, maybe they have parents or family or friends that are in a nursing facility, and they maybe want to learn more about how to potentially get an exercise program where their loved ones are, what's the best way for them to find out more about you? I know you mentioned the social media stuff, but like, what's the website? Where can they go? All of those things.
Yeah, so you can visit our website, www.burnsgym.com. That's BURNSGYM. So again, we do post content as well, Logan. So like, even if they don't sign up, there's like helpful content on like falls, on like frailty, sarcopenia, exercise in general, some chronic conditions. There's some videos on there, like educational videos for people to go and watch. Our email address is contact@burnsgym.com. You can also find us on Instagram @burnsgym, and our Facebook's www.facebook.com/burnsgym. We're on X, it's @burns_gym, and yeah, you can find us everywhere. Just
That's
type
awesome,
in Burns Gym, Glasgow, Scotland.
Yeah, just type in Burns Gym.
Pops up.
Yeah. Well, that's great, Tony. This is just awesome, man. I'm so excited to see how you guys have grown and expanded, and I think the work that you're doing is just tremendous, and how many people you're able to reach and help. And, I can't emphasize how important this group of individuals is that you're targeting. And I think not just those people are obviously super appreciative to the work that you're doing, but I think obviously their loved ones, the people who care about these people that are getting a little older, not having the community that they would hope to have. And I think, again, just beyond the strength training aspect and making these people healthier and live longer, like there's probably just as much, if not more, impact to the community that you're helping build around these retirement facilities, care facilities, all of those things. So you guys are doing good work. I hope you keep it up, and I wish you both the best. And, as you continue to expand and evolve, I'd love to have you guys both on again in the future and maybe talk about the next exciting thing that's going on.
Yeah. Listen, Logan, thanks very much. Really appreciate you taking the time to ask me on here as well. And it's been lovely chatting to you again.
Yeah, you as well. We'll have, hopefully the AI can figure out what Tony was saying if anybody's listening to this and has to read the captions. I'll keep you posted. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Thank you so much for taking the time today, Tony. And we'll be back again. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode of Exercise is Bullshit.
Thanks, Logan.